And this is a poster on stereotypes. It could be a poster on anything. So, ideas? What do you always have to have? What do you say for the samples? Title. What else? Image. And as a teacher, you could say, you specify, I want at least 5 images on here. How many do most of those posters have, by the way? You just count them up, how many? 6, 7. Okay, so you might say, okay, we're looking for about 5 to 7 images. Okay, what else does it have to have?
Habitat or environment.
Pardon me, sorry?
Habitat or environment.
And something to do with the habitat or environment. It's a very important part. You've got igloos and other things on there. That's right. All added to the stereotype, yes.
Is that the same as theme?
Theme. And tell me about theme. Tell me more. The theme. Make sure you talk about the theme, which is stereotypes.
Canadian stereotypes.
Canadian stereotypes, yes. Okay, and what else?
Supporting points.
Points, supporting points. And they're, do you notice that they are underneath the images? I think mostly are they underneath the images or they're attached to the images. Supporting points attached to the images. Another word for this we might call them is captions. So this, when you're working on the criteria, you can then introduce a word that you want to have students be familiar with. You might say these could be captions or they could be subheadings or whatever. What else do you think it has to have, just according to this?
Color.
Color. And what else? We've got title, images, habitat, something about the environment, theme is Canadian stereotypes, supporting
name?
points, images, yes,
Name.
your name. Anything else it has? Both of them might have, that are common to both?
Okay, the flag.
There's a flag. That kind of has that identification. And tell me what the supporting points in the images all have to do with again. I might ask that as a teacher. All has to show me what? Show me the stereotypes. So all of these have to show me the ideas around stereotypes. Now, that can be our brainstorm. Let's think. You did quite a good job. Anything else? Yes? Anything else? You might say if you're, you might say, I want you to really be thinking about the design and how these things go together. So it could be think of how that the images are organized into a design. So it's not haphazard. That I noticed that you've done some thinking about this. Okay. Now, I could just leave this as a list. It's a little bit of a long list. Or for our purposes, I'm just going to put this here and look what we can do to categorize them. To categorize them, I'm just going to make a T-chart. Okay? And here is going to be the criteria. And here will be the student words. And I'm going to call those specifics or details. So, our criteria have to link back to the outcome. So here's some ideas. I can see, well, first of all, you've got to show your understanding of Canadian stereotypes, right? So that's the first one. And then on this side will be all the ways that students have told me. Oh, we have to have images. We have to show that habitat. We have to make the theme, make sure that we do that. We have to have those sentences going through here, supporting points. Oh, maybe we have to have that flag. Maybe a flag comes in here. I'm not sure. I'll just put that down for now. Okay, then there's another, a kind of bigger, another category called engaging your audience. Because your poster should engage your audience. It's a piece of viewing. It's not having to be artwork, but it should engage, okay? And so, or appeal, or engage your audience. And that's where we have the idea of the color. And maybe the images would also come down to here, the types of the interesting images that you've chosen. And try to make it as interesting as possible. Maybe that there's a real organization to this and a design. that helps your reader, draws your reader in. And then maybe you want them to always have them to follow the format of a poster and the conventions. So for these, maybe you always want to have a title, put their name on it. What do you think would be really important? We haven't put it here. Every word on that should be, what every word should be, every word on there. Spelled correctly, okay, because this is a poster. So we could say conventions and check spelling will be, because you might not have like complete sentences, but maybe check spelling. So I notice I didn't have that over here. I might put it down as a teacher idea, maybe spelling is correct. And I just identify it, this is something that I've added. Now, let's say you're going to do a different poster for something else. You're going to show, I don't know, environment or habitat or something on whales or whatever. I bet you'll have to show your understanding of whales. You'll have to appeal and engage the audience, and you'll follow the format. So what might really change only might be your specifics and details around here. Sometimes the left-hand side of the criteria can stay with minor alteration, and the specifics for the specific activity might change.